Alright, so 2 years ago for New Year's, we decided to go to Glamis. And Glamis, it's sand dunes, and we ride our dirt bikes, quads, take the trailer out there for the weekend. So we went out there, and we're going for a ride. My cousin Abel, my cousin Steven, he's on a dirt bike, and then me. And we went for a ride, an hour goes by, ready to go back, and I noticed Steven's not there. So I turn around, he's at the bottom of a bowl. And I was like, what's wrong? Oh, his bike stopped, whatever, let's try and start it. It's not starting. He sees the engine. So we were like, all right, well, let's try and jump start it. So we had to push it up to the top of a hill, or the top of a dune. But the sand, it's softer than the sand at the beach. We have our riding boots on, all our gear, so you just sink into it while we're trying to push a 300-400 pound bike up a dune. So it's pretty heavy. We're getting exhausted. And then we finally get it to the top and then go down, and it's not working. We do that like 3 times. And then I was like, you know what, I'll go back to camp, and then I'll go get some tie downs and go get some water for us. So that's what I did. I went back to camp, and I told them, in about half an hour, go to the top of a dune so I can spot you. And then, so I went back. Everybody's a little worried, where they at? But I was like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. We'll bring the bike back. So I got a backpack, put the tie downs in there, put some waters, went back. And then we hooked up one quad to the forks of the dirt bike to pull it up. So we kept doing that each dune, and then I had to go get the quad, bring the other quad, and catch it up with us. And we had to keep doing that each dune till we got to flatland. And once we got to flatland, all we had to do was hook the 2 quads up to the dirt bike and pull it. Sounds a lot easier. It's a lot easier said than done, but when you're pulling it, it'll pull the fork, turns the handlebars, and then you fall. So Steven's on the dirt bike trying to balance it, and he just keeps falling and falling and falling. And then we're getting a little nervous because the sun's starting to go down. So we're like, all right, so do we leave your bike here, or what do we do? And then as the sun's going down, though, people are coming back from Competition Hill. So I'm like, just follow the crowd, because I really don't know where we're at right now. So we're trying to follow the crowd, and out of everybody, hundreds of people, not one person stops to say, hey, you guys okay? You guys need help or anything? So we're just like, all right, do we cut through these dunes and do that all over again? Or do we stay on this flat land and maybe go to like the ranger station? Or what do we do? And then finally some guy was like, oh, I can help you out. So thank you, he helped us out. And then we followed him, because we're next to the vendors, and he was parked next to the vendors as well. So we just followed him, and we got back to camp. And then we realized that his bike has a big old crack in the engine too. So there goes his bike for the weekend. And it sounds like the worst weekend ever. And we saw that movie 127 Hours, and it sounds like that, like we're stuck in the desert and stuff for 5 hours. But I mean, it was New Year's, and we still had a good time, though. We made the best of the situation. And now, like, I always have a little backpack with me with waters, tie downs in there, just in case. And you know, we're in a horrible situation, but we made the best of it. So it was like the best day of my life.